Hey there, Scorpio. Welcome to reading for the week of May 13th. This week, we're going to jump right in here. I have a little bit of a time crunch this week, so these are going to be a little bit shorter. Actually, the whole month of May, I have to travel and move and then travel again. So, they're going to be a little bit shorter, but still good. So you have this whale spirit says, trust in the great mystery. You also have this antelope spirit. It says life is speeding up. So I think that you're getting better results based off your work, which comes up for you, Scorpio. I mean, especially for those of you, as I've said before, that have revisited something that you have worked on in the past and maybe you gave up on, or maybe you just didn't see it through all the way to the end. Like you put a little bit of work in and then, there wasn't a result. And, if you've pulled a Scorpio, right? And if you've rebirthed something that you worked on in the past, and I would say over the last 2 years, right? You could be getting better results, or you are seeing better results in whatever it is that you are rebirthing here, and it looks really, really good to me. You have the Emperor showing up as your first card. Emperor, of course, could be an emperor literally coming in for you. There does look, I want to we're going to clarify this still, even though, again, these are just a little bit shorter, but, we're going to clarify. We'll see what comes up, but there is a little bit of love here. You even have the King of Cups in the area of your thoughts. So you could be thinking about a person, or, you're meeting a person that you're going to think about in the future. But what I would say is you could be attracting an emperor. But really what I feel is that you're taking the lead on the things that you're working on. But I also feel you're feeling more motivated. And I think this motivation is coming from the fact that something is actually working in your life, right? Or it's about to. You have the Ten of Wands as your crossing energy. The crossing energy can be what hurts you or helps you in a Celtic cross. I personally like the Ten of Wands. He's about to reach his home in the background here. And it kind of says that he's about to release his burdens. But those burdens are not like bad burdens. Those are wands that he planted, and he wants those as a harvest. So he is about to have a harvest. And not only that, we're going to come back to this in a second, but in your foundation, you have the Nine of Pentacles. And she is like pre-Empress energy, and she is also having a harvest. We'll talk about it. But, it kind of looks to me like you are getting some sort of harvest in your work, or you are harvesting more from the work that you do day to day. And, obviously this is going to be a good thing. You have the King of Cups in the area of your thoughts. Again, you could be thinking about a King of Cups person, or, it doesn't matter what gender, whatever you're into, right? But I do feel like there could be a person that you're thinking about. I also feel that this is you kind of exploring your emotions. The King of Cups, he does explore his emotions. He's sitting in the deep ocean, and it kind of represents the fact that he has deep emotions. So I feel like you have deep emotions, and you could be exploring those emotions moving forward. This could be about anything. Like you could just be thinking about how you feel about pretty much everything in your life. And it could be a little bit of an emotional time for you, but not in a bad way. Again, I think you're exploring your emotions. I think you're just asking yourself, how do I feel about changes or these things that are happening in my life? And there's probably going to be a good reason for it. And you have that whale spirit, which, whales dive deep. So it looks like you're diving deep into your emotions. In your foundation, you have the Nine of Pentacles, again, harvest. It's coming up in your foundation, but she has these grapes behind her, and grapes in the tarot represent kind of like a harvest or something that's difficult to grow. But you can see those grapes behind her are ready to pick. So I feel for a lot of you that, again, whatever you've been whatever you're working on, I think is going to be really good for you. I would pay attention to your environment. There's this snail right here by my finger, and that snail kind of represents your environment. Snails wear their homes on their back. So it basically says that anything you can do to create a more positive environment around you would be a good idea, like creating an environment of success or whatever. I always say, years ago, I made my whole entire setup. I hit one button over here, everything turns on, right? And it's a little thing, but if I had to turn on all 6 million things that are around me right now to get this to work, and if I had to turn on my recorder to remember to record every single video, it would be a pain in the ass, right? So by setting everything up so I can just hit one button, I hit one button and I go, right? I just start recording. So it's something small, but it kind of removed a lot of friction from me getting started and doing readings. It made things more streamlined, easier, and, all this other stuff, right? So what I would say is, are there any little things that you can do around you that would make things more streamlined or, make things more efficient? And I think that it might seem little, but at the same time, sometimes these little things have a big impact that really make things more worth it. I can tell you I'm a million times more productive because I don't have to turn everything on. I know it sounds silly, but it's true. In the area of your past, you have the Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles, good news. And it could also represent like an immature person. I'm wondering if you like have dealt with an immature person in the past. You have this wolf card. It says, beware of who you trust. So I would definitely, even though we're past the retrograde, doesn't matter. We have Pluto going retrograde. I question how much like generational planets like Pluto really affect us on like a short-term basis, right? But what I would say is, I could definitely see how Pluto going retrograde could maybe bring up some people from the past, or dealing, if you're dealing with a person from the past who was immature, I would be careful of that. It is coming up in your past position, and the past position is the energy that you are moving past. So I kind of feel you are moving past this. You have this Queen card. It actually says love and prosperity. I think that should be your focus this month, and not just this week, but for the rest of the month. I think focusing on love, prosperity, abundance, all those good things, so, focusing on good stuff is exactly what you should be doing with that card. In the area of your very near future, you need to protect your peace, for sure. You again, above this card, you have that card that says beware of who you trust. Four of Swords is resting, relaxing, recovering. But I kind of feel like this is your peace. Maybe you have gotten your life to a point where you have some peace, or you have peace and quiet. And I do feel this is saying, like, don't invite the big bad wolf into your life, right? I don't think this is something to be worried about or concerned about, right? Like I always tell people, like, tarot shouldn't scare you. Tarot shouldn't make you nervous or afraid or anything like that, right? But you should be aware. And I think that there are blessings coming in for you. There's a person right here who is blessing another person in that stained glass window. So it's kind of saying to you, that there could be blessings that are presenting themselves to you, but I do feel you should protect yourself, especially if you've dealt with anyone who's like toxic or who has bad behavior, right? Who's a bad boy, bad girl, whatever, from the past. I would definitely avoid those situations with this wolf card for sure. Even over the next few months, you have the Seven of Wands. Again, I really feel that over the next few months, you are just protecting your peace and quiet. And, he's kind of drawing a line in the sand. Seven of Wands, to me, really represents that energy of drawing a line in the sand, saying, this is what I'm willing to accept in my life. And I'm not willing to accept anything that is going to, kind of try to come up this hill. He's defending his position at the top of this hill. So I feel for a lot of you that kind of you defending your position or making sure that you protect what is yours is going to be a good idea. Again, this is not scary. I want to stress that. This is just, you putting up boundaries, you saying, if you want to be in my life, you have to meet these requirements or whatever. I think all of, setting boundaries is a really good idea for you right now. Next, in the area of your closest relationships, you have the Nine of Swords. I'm hearing like cleaning up or something like that is popping into my head. So I kind of feel that some of you are cleaning up your closest relationships. Nine of Swords is like a never-ending nightmare. And I would definitely avoid a never-ending nightmare with a person. Again, if you have a toxic person or whatever this is from the past, the big bad wolf, right? Then I would do whatever you can to draw boundaries against this person. I think that, this is saying, like, don't get sucked back into something that isn't right, or is just going to cause more problems in your life. And I think as long as you do that, of course, you'll be fine. But, that's what I would do here with the Nine of Swords and that Seven of Wands. I would, protect your peace. Coming up in your future feelings, I feel pretty good about this. Personally, I like the Seven of Pentacles. Yes, he could be making a change. And yes, he's like looking at those pentacles and he's saying, is the juice worth the squeeze? Is it worth it for me to put all this work and effort and time and energy into these Seven Pentacles? Or is there something else that I could be doing? Those are the questions that you want to ask yourself with the Seven of Pentacles. But, he is getting a result. So I feel like you are getting results. And I really feel like you're upping your game. And I kind of feel that's where this reading is going, especially, your last card is the Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Wands is like the true builder in the tarot. And so I feel like a lot of you are like you're learning new ways to up your game. So especially in work, in business, or anything having to do with pentacles here, I feel like you're kind of leveling up or looking for ways to create more increase. But also, pretty much anywhere you put your energy, I feel you are looking for ways to up your game. And that's really what I'm getting off of that card. At the end, for your outcome, again, you have the Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is about being spontaneous and looking for spontaneous opportunity, which is hard for you, fixed sign, right? So I feel like you fixed signs should definitely be embracing the energy of the Knight of Wands. Like if a different way of doing things pops up, just try it and see what happens. And I think embracing that energy will lead to the most success for you. Again, of course, I would be careful of anyone who's inconsistent or anyone who has been inconsistent in your life. That kind of seems to be a little bit of a thread that's running through here. You also have this deep knowing card. I mean, you are Scorpio, you have deep knowing, so I think that you should trust that. You have this whale. here, and the King of Cups has a whale behind him. It kind of looks like a fish, but it's meant to be a whale. And I think that a lot of you kind of have this deep understanding of, where you are at in life and where you're going, and I feel you need to trust that. With the Emperor and the Ten of Wands, you have the Four of Wands. I feel like some of you do want love. I feel like you want love, right? But I feel like laughing at the same time. So there could be a person that you have your mind on. This could be a person you marry in the future. But you also have that Ten of Wands, which really tells me that you're trying to balance kind of like responsibilities with, other things in your life. And so, I kind of feel if you do want love, I think you have to look at the balance, or, are there better ways you could create more balance so that you can find the time for a connection? I do feel like there is a connection here, like I said, and it could be a good one, but, for whatever reason, I feel like there are certain responsibilities. With the King of Cups, you have the Five of Cups. Five of Cups can be regrets. I think you're wondering if you're going to regret being with a person right here because you have a lot going on. And so I kind of get this feeling of you maybe seeing a person and being like, I like this person, but am I going to regret it? Am I going to regret giving someone time? And again, there really is no good answer here. I think the best answer is tennis, right? It's like you hit the ball to them and wait till they hit it to you. So I think as long as you're kind of like, don't play games in relationships, obviously, but as long as you're playing that game, right, where you give a little bit of energy, see if they return the favor, and, as long as there's good equal give and take and you don't overinvest, I think you'll be fine. I think that we get into trouble when we overinvest in people that we shouldn't be overinvesting in. The problem is that bad people and narcissists and stuff, they're really good at getting you to invest in the connection, right? Like the big bad wolf right here. I'm wondering if you dealt with a person like that who like convinced you to overinvest. It's scientifically proven that if we do something for someone, we kind of value that person more. And so there are people in the world who are just good at getting you to do things for them. And as you do more things for them, you value that person more when they do nothing for you. And then it creates this weird toxic cycle, right? And so I feel as long as right here, if you are meeting a new person, as long as you only give a little, and we're not talking about like holding back or anything like that, but as long as they're matching your energy, then things will be fine. I think as long as you pay attention, you'll be fine. If you don't pay attention, that's where the problems are going to spring up, right? With the Nine of Pentacles, I think you're attracting a very mature person and probably a person who doesn't play games. So again, as long as you look at the evidence, I think you'll be fine. I also think that you are kind of trusting your wisdom more. So the things that you have learned, it's like they're leading to big changes in your finances. And I do feel, like I said, I feel you have a lot going on here, Scorpio, just in general with that Ten of Wands. I think there's a lot you want to accomplish. And I think you're just doing the right thing, like protecting your energy and making sure that a big bad wolf doesn't come in and blow it all down before the structure has actually formed. And I'm sorry, but I actually have to show a person this house because the agent can't be here. So I just need to make sure they're not actually here. So I apologize. With the Page of Pentacles, you have the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords, of course, is separation. So everything we talked about here with the Page of Pentacles, I think that some of you have dealt with a toxic situation and you're just moving past it. You could even be like forgiving the situation or just moving past it. It's coming up in your past. With the Four of Swords, you have the Fool. The Fool is about taking a leap of faith towards something that you want. So again, I do feel it would be good for you to take a leap of faith towards like a person or a change if we're going this way to the Seven of Pentacles. And again, I really feel this is more kind of like a leap that is going to cause you to up your game. Like maybe, I think in past readings, I've said that Scorpio needs to like cannonball into the deep end. Like you can't just dip your toes in the water, right? And so I feel the Fool energy, the upping your game energy is the 110% commitment that you could be making to a change in your life. And for a lot of you, I feel this is financial. With the Seven of Wands, you have the Four of Cups. Yeah, like a lot of this, I think you should, before you get with a person, I would kind of correct the disappointments that you've experienced in the past, or look at them. And I'm not saying that you should live in the past, but I do think that sometimes maybe we should take a pause and say, these are the mistakes I made in a past relationship. These are the things I didn't pay attention to. These are the things I didn't see, so that we can make sure that we see them moving forward, right? So it's not like you're living in the past. You're just revisiting disappointments and saying, I really don't want to repeat this mistake. So you're just not repeating mistakes. I think it's just that simple here, Scorpio. Like I said, upping your game. I think you're paying attention. With the Nine of Swords, you have the Ace of Swords. This is like conquering the devil type of energy right here. The Ace of Swords cuts the head off the devil. So I feel for a lot of you, you are ending toxic things once and for all. I feel you are in a much better place. I really feel good about this reading, Scorpio. I know there's some like weird stuff here, but just overall, I think that you're in a much better place. I think you are much more focused. I think you are protecting your energy and your mindset and, all this other great stuff. But the Ace of Swords is a victory. I also feel if you're dealing with like a divorce or separation, that the Ace of Swords would really suggest that you're kind of coming out clean in the situation. So if you're worried about like a person saying something about you or something weird like that. Here you go with the Seven of Pentacles. You have the Justice card. Same thing. You have Justice twice here. You actually have the King of Swords as well going up to Justice. King of Swords is law and order. So there could be some law and order coming into your life, or there could be order being restored in your life, and I definitely get that feeling. Justice also says pay attention to cause and effect. We said the whole tennis thing, right? With the Knight of Wands, you have the Four of Pentacles. Yes, break patterns. Plain and simple. I would, experiment more, play more, be messy. Don't be afraid to be messy. Four of Pentacles is holding on too tightly to the past, but I don't really feel you're holding on to the past. I think this is more saying, look for new ways of doing whatever you're doing in your life, right? You have this Diamond. It says you will be receiving a precious gift. Yes, I think it could be a person just based off of the rest of these cards. Wait till you see this, right? These are really, really good. So I think there could be a gift of a person. You have a Stork. It says news of a birth or a new business opportunity. If you're working on a business, I think you're working on what you have been working on. And you're just getting better results this time around, is what I feel like saying, because you've already tried this. I feel like the people I'm speaking to have already tried something, and you're like trying it again, or you're just rebirthing it, right? You have this V card. It says victory in some endeavor. Ace of Swords, big victory coming in for you. So, big wins. You have this Lily. It says spiritual love on it. I feel if you are attracting love, this would be a much more spiritual connection, probably a more spiritual person with the King of Cups as well. You have this Turkey. It says someone behaving stupidly. So I would, again, if you're getting with a new person, maybe you need to make sure to block a past person or protect it from a past person or something like that. But pretty straightforward reading here, Scorpio. Looks really good. I like it. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.